Hello and welcome to our Thunder Moon meditation. I'm Zara Haji from Yoga Goddess, and I'm so excited to be here with you all today on July 10th to celebrate the Thunder Moon and the transformations that come with it. So as we get started, I would love to know who's joining me here today. So if you would share your name, so I'm just going to write that here. Tell us your name and where you're joining from. All right. So I'm happy to see that the on-screen messages are working. So as you join, as you come on the live stream, please introduce yourself and let us know where you're joining from. What part of the world are you joining us from? So I see there are a handful of people with me, and there might be a slight delay for me to get your messages. Hi, Amy from Quebec. Welcome. Awesome. Nice to have you with us. And Ayana from Maryland. Welcome. Hi, Emily from Pennsylvania. Thanks for joining us again. So as you come into our virtual circle, please introduce yourself. Hi, Heidi from Toronto. Heidi's actually part of my team. So welcome. Thanks for being here. Nalima from California. Welcome. So nice to have you join. All right. So as you hop on, do introduce yourself. Let us know where you're joining us from. It's always really nice to know where everyone is coming in from into our virtual circle, just so that we can hold that sense of where everyone is around the world. All right. So I did ask for some intentions on the Facebook page, and wow, did we ever get a lot of responses. So hi, Diana from Toronto. Welcome. So I want to ask you now to hold in your awareness. And Elaine, hello from Glasgow. Welcome. So exciting to have people here from all over the globe and different time zones. I know it's late there, so that's great. So I want you to, as we get started with tonight's meditation, I want you to consider what area of your life is crying out for renewal or transformation. And let's just take a moment actually right now to just close your eyes. All of us can close our eyes and just take a moment to really drop into your breath, drop into your heart. Drop into your being. And just consider, just let that question radiate and permeate your being. What area of your life is crying out for renewal or transformation? And let your heart be open to share this answer with you. What area of your life is crying out for renewal or transformation? And if you have something specific that came up for you, please do share it. with us here on the live cast. And we had some incredible intentions. So you can also share, what is it here what is it that brings you here on the live cast this evening under the full thunder moon? What do you want to transform? What do you want to shed? So let's share our intentions as we get started. So I'm just going to pull up some intentions that were shared on the Facebook page as you write yours here. So Nia Hughes said, my intention is to release attachments to old concepts and ideals so I can move towards embodying spiritual and unconditional love for myself and others. Beautiful. Andrea says, my intention is to continue journeying through releasing emotional trauma in my pelvic area. Thank you for sharing that, Andrea. Beautiful. And Angela says she wants to transform the fear of equality and her own right to be. Beautiful. Hi, Claire from Turkey. Wow, that's awesome that you're joining us from Turkey. Diana says she's accepting herself and where she currently is and being open to new possibilities. Thank you, Diana, for sharing that. Lynn, my life is crying out for renewal in terms of creativity. I want to shed choices from fear and make choices based on passion, purpose, and belief in my reason for being on this earth. Wow, Lynn, thank you. Powerful. And Nilima says, I'm currently in the middle of a career change, left behind my social venture and job hunting now. So I want to refresh my ability to add value to the world, make things move and happen. Beautiful. Okay. So I'll just share a few more intentions. Gigi says, I want to shed the guilt that comes from not acting as my mother and grandmother, who were both masculine, proactive, and not trusting men, and always skinny. She says it's time to embrace myself with love. Beautiful, Gigi. And we're going to talk about these old family patterns and why that's important during this full moon to look at. Joyce James says, I want to shed the feeling of never being quite good enough. I'm sure a lot of us can relate, Joyce, and I want to shed that need to please. Beautiful. I want to fully embody myself. I want to know myself as whole and holy now and forever. Let's do this. Okay, perfect. Let us do this. So Emily Cat says, job and finances. I want to shed my old identity being full-time salaried. I want to go part-time so I can pursue my love of health coaching, helping people with autoimmune conditions. Beautiful, Emily. Thank you so much for sharing. All right. So we're really going to look at these old ways of being, these patterns that we might be living in, whether, we've consciously inherited them or not. And this is a really powerful, welcome Elizabeth from London. It's a powerful full moon to be really looking at ways of being that maybe you've inherited from your nuclear family, from your mom, from your dad, or from your ancestral lineage. And if anyone is into the astrology of the moons, you might know that this full moon in Cancer is very emotional. And we're also really close to Pluto. So because of that proximity, Pluto, the planet, really brings up the darkness. And so we want to really allow ourselves, you might be noticing that there's this tendency for, aggravations to be coming up. Maybe you've been fighting with your partner or at least having some heated discussions with each other. So communication is really hot right now. there's a lot of tension and there's a lot of sparks. And that's partly why this full moon is so important. And the idea of thunder and lightning really shaking things up. So we're going to actually be doing a really interesting meditation tonight called the Thunderbolt meditation. And it's a Kundalini yoga meditation called Trishula Kriya. So Trishula means actually thunderbolt. And this particular Kriya comes from the lineage of Lord Shiva. And so you might, if you're aware a little bit of the Hindu mythology, the thunderbolt of Shiva is all about transformation and renewal. So this particular meditation, we're going to be calling on that energy. So before we get into our meditation, I just want to open the lines for any questions from anyone. Before we get into it, feel free to ask any questions that you might have about this full moon, and I'll do my best to answer them. And also, if you're new to Kundalini Yoga, we're going to be going through a particular mantra to start the meditation, and it's called the Adi Mantra. So I'm going to be guiding you through the words of the Adi Mantra and also having the words up on the screen. And once we get started with the meditation, I won't be able to really answer questions so much. So if you have any questions, now is the time to ask them before we get into the actual meditation. So I'll just pause for a moment. All right, so no questions that I can see. So we're going to just take a moment and go back to our intention for tonight's meditation. And if, some of you shared, I think it was Gigi shared a really powerful intention, and talking about shedding the ways of her mother and grandmother of being really masculine and rigid potentially. And that's really something that has been coming up for me personally. As I look at the ways I've inherited of being through my family, through my lineage, what I recognize for myself is a real sense of wanting to break out of these old ways of being hard and rigid and almost angry and demanding, especially when it comes to relationship with partners. So Emily, I noticed you said that you really noticed the aggravation, darkness, and feeling tension. And so we're going to talk a little bit about how to do some self-healing around this. So that's what our meditation is going to be focused on. It's really a self-healing meditation. And to really harness this feeling of, or this idea of, okay, we've inherited certain ways of being. Some people might call that, karma. You might have heard of the term Akashic records. Well, this meditation is actually said to be able to clear your entire Akashic records. So it actually brings the past, the present, and the future into a place of unity. So that's what we're going to be working on today energetically, but I also want you to consider consciously and mentally, thinking for yourself, what ways of being have you inherited that you might have just accepted as normal, as how things have always been because that's how you were brought up, and whether you want to continue in that pattern, if that way of relating is working for you. And if it's working for you, that's great. And if you find that you're rubbing up against ways of being and ways of relating that aren't working for you as much, I invite you to open up to the possibility of what could you, if you peel that away, what new you might emerge? So for me to let go of the rigid and the hard way of relating, to get defensive and kind of angry, I imagine that if I let that go, underneath would be a lot more gentleness, vulnerability, and a sense of really kind of relating from my heart to really communicate my needs. And that's a really, that's central to everything that I teach about the feminine, and in Yoga Goddess, all our programs are really about, letting go of the old masculine ways of being that don't let our feminine emerge. So for me, it's really coming up in that very personal way of, I know that I get the tension goes up in my body, my chest kind of puffs up, and potentially my chin juts out. And this is an old pattern, something that a defense that I probably came up with in childhood, and it was in defense of, to defend myself against an environment of, growing up with my parents where my needs weren't taken really into consideration, where my thoughts and feelings were constantly pushed out of importance. And so that rigid stance, that defensiveness, that anger, it's an automatic response that comes up for me when I feel like my needs are not being heard. And that came up for me this weekend with my partner. And as I reflected on it for the last few hours, the last day or two, it really, and I thought about this full moon and that old way of relating, of getting rigid and kind of impenetrable. That was really a way that I think the women in my family have been. So I, for myself, really want to let that go. So I really invite you to think about, as you peel away the old, as you shed your old skin under the light of this full moon, what new you might emerge? What new ways of being or relating for you might emerge? So I'm going to just pause for a moment and have you sit with that, and maybe if you can share as well, that would be wonderful. What would you like to, as you peel away the layers, what would you like to step into? How would you like to emerge into the new way of being and relating? I'm hoping that everyone can still hear me and see me. So as you peel away the old, what new in you will emerge? Okay. So I'll just wait for a few more moments. What would you like to emerge for you, moon, in this transformation? All right. So Nilima says, less pushing to get results and more owning that I am enough and receiving. Well, thank you. That's beautiful, Nilima. And Elizabeth says, thank you for your experience of becoming defensive. It relates to my own and that of other women in my family. It would be good for me to emerge with a new way of relating, especially this week as I have a family meeting coming up. Beautiful intention, Elizabeth. Okay, and Svetlana says, new energies and new confidence. And Emily, I want to emerge more confident and living my life's true purpose while providing for myself financially without feeling lack and stress. And Lynn, I'd like to shed the old feeling of being defensive and instead feel peaceful and be able to hear challenges and opposing views without having to get pointy and aggressive. Perfect. And finally, Katie, I'm hoping to shed fear around accepting money in abundance that I've inherited from my mother and emerge with embracing abundance in all forms. Beautiful, 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 beautiful. Okay, so we're going to start our Kundalini Yoga meditation. I'm just going to have some water. And Andrea, I'll just read your quick response. I would like to merge my motivation with determination rather than listening to self-doubt. Well, this is the perfect meditation. All right. So for those of you who are new to Kundalini Yoga, we start with a mantra. Joyce, thank you. Embracing abundance and acceptance. Perfect. So the mantra that we will start with is Om, O-N-G, not Om. So Om Namo Gurudev Namo. And I'm just going to adjust the screen so you can see me better. And your hands will be in a prayer position so that the fingers are together and the thumbs are in towards your chest. And we're going to chant this mantra 3 times. And then I'm going to explain to you how the meditation goes. So let's just take a moment. If you're sitting on the floor, that's perfect. If you're sitting on a chair, just make sure that your feet are on the floor. And then close your eyes. Let's take a couple of centering breaths. And we're going to chant the mantra together. And just do your best. You can join in on the second or third time if it's new for you. If this is your first time, just to get the sound of the words to begin with. So let's take a deep breath. Om Namo Gurudev Namo. Again. Om Namo Gurudev Namo. One more time, deep breath in. Om Namo Gurudev Namo. Inhale deeply and hold the breath. And just take a moment to hold your intention in your heart, in your awareness. Good. And slowly release. All right. So, as I mentioned, we're doing the Thunderbolt meditation today called Kriya. And there's a few different steps to this particular meditation. So I'm going to try and explain one at a time in a way that hopefully is easy to understand. So I'm going to start with the hand position. And I'm just going to hide these words so that you can see me better. Okay, so The way we're going to start is your hands, left hand is on the bottom, right hand is on the top, and I'm just going to move my screen again. And your elbows are tucked into your sides. And your hands are just slightly higher. So they're not down here. They're just slightly higher than your elbows. It's really a small elevation of, they say 10 degrees, but that's just so that you know it's not flat. It's just a little bit elevated, comfortable to you. And as you hold your hands like this, notice that I'm going to just show you my hands one more time. Yeah, there we go. The palms are not right on top of each other. They're slightly off center. So if you can see my hands like that. So the left is on the bottom, the right is on the top, and the palms are not perfectly centered. They're just slightly slanted. Okay, so you can just keep your hands by your sides and hold your hands that way while I change the screen. Okay, to show the mantra. So there is a silent mantra. So you're not going to say it out loud, but I'll say it out loud so that you can hear it as you're doing the meditation. And the mantra is Har Har Waheguru. Har Har Waheguru. So the translation is the Creator is bliss. So bliss is, Waheguru means bliss. And great is the Guru. So it's kind of a difficult translation. It's not a word for word translation. So let's say in general, it means the Creator is bliss, great is the Guru. All right, so I'm going to go back to the one before. So this is the mantra, and you're not saying it out loud, so don't worry about pronunciation. You'll just hear it silently. Okay, so as I said, there's a few steps to this. You have the hand position now, you have the mantra. So those are the first two steps. And now I'm going to share with you the breath. So in Kundalini Yoga, there's often many points of concentration, which is why it makes the meditation actually easier to do than silent meditation because there's lots to focus on. Okay, so the next step, which is the breath, is you're going to be inhaling deeply, and don't worry if you can't remember all this. I'll keep on saying it as we get started. You're going to inhale, hold the breath, and draw your belly in. And then as you hold that breath with belly in, you'll close your eyes and hear the silent mantra. Har Har Waheguru. Har Har Waheguru. Har Har Waheguru. And imagine your light, your hands, radiating light, filling up with light. When you can't hold your breath anymore, you're going to exhale. And you're going to draw all the muscles of your anus and sex organs in and up. Root lock, if you know what that means. Engaged root lock. Hold the breath out until you can't hold the breath anymore. Hearing that silent mantra. Har Har Waheguru. Har Har Waheguru. And release. Okay, so that's a preview of what we're going to be doing. I'm going to continue guiding you through it. And there is a visualization piece as well, but I'll tell you that as we get started. So I don't want to give you too many things all at once, which I probably already have. Okay, so we have the hand position. You're going to close your eyes, take a deep breath in, hold the breath, draw your navel in, and hear the silent mantra, filling your hands with light. Har Har Waheguru. Har Har Waheguru. Har Har Waheguru. Har Har Waheguru. As you exhale, imagine a thunderbolt of lightning radiating from your hands. Hold the breath out. Engage root lock if you know what that means. Otherwise, don't worry about it. And hear the mantra. Har Har Waheguru. Har Had Waheguru. Had Waheguru. Had Waheguru. Inhale deeply. Draw the belly in. Feel your hands filling up with light. Listen to the silent mantra in your head. Exhale thunderbolts of lightning out of your hands. All the breath out. Hold the breath out. Hear the silent mantra. Inhale. Hold the breath. Listen to the silent mantra. Feel your hands filling up with light. Exhale and radiate the thunderbolts out of your fingertips. All the breath out. Engage the lock. Hear the silent mantra. Inhale deeply. Draw your belly in. Imagine your hands filling up with light. Hear the mantra. Exhale all the breath out. Engage root lock. Hear the silent mantra. Radiate those thunderbolts out of your fingertips. Inhale deeply. Draw the belly in. Fill your hands with light. Hear the silent mantra. As you exhale, thunderbolts out of your fingertips. Exhale all the breath out. When the breath is out, engage root lock. Hear the silent mantra. Inhale deeply. Draw belly in. Let your hands fill with light. Hear the mantra. Had Waheguru. Had Waheguru. Exhale bolts of lightning out of your fingertips. All the breath out. Engage root lock. Hold and hear the mantra. Last time, inhale deeply. Draw belly in. Fill your hands with light. Hear the silent mantra. As you exhale, bolts of lightning out of your fingertips. All the breath out. Root lock. Listen to the silent mantra. Inhale deeply. Release the locks. Hold the breath. Feel your whole self radiating with light. Exhale powerfully. Inhale again. Hold the breath. Feel your whole body radiating with light. Exhale powerfully. One more time. Inhale deeply. Hold. Exhale powerfully. And just take a moment to yourself. letting your hands relax onto your lap. And just take a moment here to tune into your breath. Stay inwardly focused. Stay in your heart. Stay in your belly. Stay connected. Feel yourself being bathed in the light of this full thunder moon, washing over your skin and through your aura. See, feel, or imagine the light, the bolts of lightning in the sky, breaking through all your limitations, all your limiting beliefs, all the patterns inherited from your family, from your ancestry, that doesn't serve you anymore. Feel, see, imagine these lights, these bolts of thunder and lightning, just cracking those patterns, shattering them. As you continue to be bathed in the light of the full moon, washing through your aura and over your skin. Just feel that soothing, bathing light. Giving way to the new you that's emerging. A gentle coming forth. A gentle rebirth and emergence. This is the moon of contrasts and opposites. Feel that contrast. Harshness and gentleness. Be gentle with yourself now. Make a commitment to release some of that harshness that you may have inherited. And commit to being kinder and gentler with yourself. And when you're ready, slowly begin to bring your awareness back to your breath, back to your body, and back into the room. Okay. So I am curious, what did you experience during the meditation? I know this is a tougher meditation. I usually choose pretty simple ones, but I felt like it would be really cool to do something that's directly connected to the thunder moon, which is why I chose this one. So feel free to come back to it, to try it on your own, and doing it, thank you, Joyce. Joyce says, so good, so powerful, beautiful. Thank you, Joyce. Come back to it, do it again. There's still lots of energy left from the full moon, a few days before, a few days after. Emily says, love the powerful visualization of light and thunderbolts. Beautiful. Thank you, Emily. Anyone else? How do you feel right now? What has shifted for you? Maybe you have a flash of insight. Nalima says, I feel the gentleness. Beautiful. Thank you, Nalima, for that. Anyone else? How do you feel? And are you, can you feel any flash of insight on your horizon? Emily says, the breathing was interesting. I feel deep breathing in, but was more challenging to release. Yes, that is very common. Elizabeth, I had a powerful image of a new self dancing from out of the thunder. Oh, Elizabeth, thank you for sharing that. What a beautiful, beautiful image. I feel very calm and tuned in. Thank you, Zara. I really enjoy your meditations. Thank you, Ayana. I'm so glad to be here in virtual circle with you and everyone. Diana, well, it was hard to hold the breath at times, very calm. Perfect. So just to take a moment to echo what Diana says, these Kundalini Yoga meditations, while they might feel like you're doing a million things and it's hard, you're not sure if you're doing it right, what the beautiful part about it is afterwards, the effect afterwards is really what I want you to experience. So the good thing is when you are so preoccupied doing so many things, your mind doesn't really have a chance to wander away, which is the good part. And you get to experience the peace afterwards, which is really what we're aiming for. So don't worry if you're not doing it perfectly, or if you're not sure you're doing it right. It's how you feel after that's the most important. Okay. So we're going to close our meditation with traditionally how we do it is with chanting a long set. Short Nam, so that's the closing mantra. And Sat Nam means true self or true identity. Okay, just one more thing. Let's see, Elaine says, I felt the power of the light surrounded and protected by a pink light. Beautiful. Thank you so much, Elaine. And before we close, I just want to say, if you want to take this experience farther, you want to deepen your connection with the moon and your own cycle, tune into our moon meditations, and I'll share that link with you at the end. So let's bring the hands together at Heart Center again to tune out. So we tune in with the Adi mantra and we tune out or close our practice with long Sat, short Nam. Okay, so you have the words on the screen. Let's take a deep breath in. And we're going to chant Sat Nam. 2 more times. Inhale deeply. Sat Nam. 1 more time. Deep breath in. Sat Nam. Inhale deeply and hold. And just remember who you are. And when you're ready, bring your thumbs to your forehead. And then slowly open your eyes. Okay, thank you so much for being here with me under the full thunder moon. As I mentioned, I have a series of 4 meditations that you can download and listen to anytime on your phone, on your iPad, however you like to do your audios. And it's connected to each phase of the moon. So the full moon is often correlated in our cycles with either menstruation or ovulation. Not for everyone though. And then you have 3 other phases, right? The waning moon, which is next, the new moon, and then the waxing moon. So each of those 4 moons correlates with 4 phases, 4 different phases in your cycle. And if you download the moon meditations, you would just listen to the meditation based on where you are in your cycle or where the moon is in the sky. That's totally up to you. And if you want to take it further, you can do Moon Charting Mastery, which will give you just a little bit more of an understanding of how to chart your cycle with the moon. And then if you want to shift your cycle either from a red moon cycle or a white moon cycle, you can take a look at Lunar Conception. So thank you again. Have a wonderful, wonderful full moon full of beautiful, powerful, and gentle transformations. Sending you lots and lots of love. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, Joyce. Thank you, Malima, Elaine, Heidi, Katie, Diana, Lynn, Ayana, Elizabeth, Emily, and Andrea for being here. If I missed anyone, I'm still sending you love, and our circle is open, but not unbroken. So have a wonderful, wonderful evening, and we'll see you next month for the August full moon, where we're going to be doing Womb Blessing with Miranda Gray. So see you then. Bye for now.